Danielle McCartney, Head of Sustainability at the University of Technology in Sydney. Danielle, I'm going to hand over directly to you.
Great, thank you very much. So just next slide, please. So just to give you a bit of context, the main campus of the University of Technology in Sydney is located at the southern gateway to Sydney Central Business District, which is close to the Central Railway Station. The city campus is broken up into 3 precincts, all within walking distance: Broadway, Haymarket and Blackfriars, and it's a relatively high-rise urban campus. So as of 2020, UTS enrolls about 46,000 students, including 14,000 international, through its 10 faculties and schools. And we have about 4,000 full-time equivalent staff, including casual staff. Next slide, please. So there are a number of strategic documents and committees that govern sustainability at UTS. So firstly, the highest document we have is the sustainability policy, which is a high-level statement of our sustainability principles, covering the 4 key areas of teaching and learning, research, campus operations, and community engagement. Below that, we have a sustainability strategy that provides the framework for implementing the policy and outlines goals, initiative, responsibilities, and timelines for achieving them. We also have a social impact framework that aims to drive social change on campus and beyond. And we also have a UTS-free, plastic-free plan, which provides a roadmap for phasing out single-use plastics on campus. And our carbon neutral plan is currently under development. And we have 2 committees, the Sustainability Steering Committee and the Social Justice and Inclusion Committee. And that consists of senior executive and student representatives from all areas of UTS, and they guide the strategic direction of sustainability at the university. Next slide, please. So UTS has a long history of commitment to sustainability principles and practices. In 1996, we established the Institute for Sustainable Futures. We signed the Talwar Declaration. We were founding members of the Green Building Council of Australia, as well as the City of Sydney Council Better Buildings Partnership. 2016, we became a signatory to the university commitment to the UN SDGs and signatory to the UN Global Compact in 2019. And in 2019 as well, we were the first Australian university to sign a climate emergency declaration. And in 2019 as well, we became a signatory to the Race2Zero. You can see on the right-hand side there our current greenhouse gas targets. So by mid this year, we want to achieve a 30% reduction on our 2007 baseline, and that's an absolute based reduction. So we're currently doing our greenhouse inventory at the moment. It's quite challenging to meet that target, but because since 2007, the university's added 50% floor area, and it's still an absolute based reduction. Also this year, we aim to reduce our emissions intensity to 105 kilos of CO2 equivalent per metre square gross floor area. And along with the Australian Technology Network, so that's 4 other technology universities, we collectively aim to reduce our emissions by 25% on the 2007 baseline, and also reduce our emissions intensity collectively. So we're on track to meet that target, and the collective 25% reduction, I think we're going to exceed by quite a bit. Next slide, please. So this is where we are in terms of developing our carbon neutral plan. So our completed tasks are in green. So we've completed a background literature review of other universities and organisations in Australia and overseas. We've developed an outline about what the plan should include and communicate. We've developed a program with task, milestones, deliverables, key dates. We've also developed a communication strategy, not only for the consultation process, but also the dissemination when the plan is actually approved. And in April and May this year, we did a large consultation exercise with our staff and students. So we had an online ideas platform where they could contribute their ideas about how UTS can reduce our greenhouse gas emissions. And we also undertook 6 workshops, all different themes. So we had travel, behaviour change, research, teaching and learning, building design and campus operations, finance, investment and procurement, and lastly, leadership and targets. So where we're at right now is drafting the actual plan. So we've collated all the ideas from the platform and the workshops, and now we're consulting with stakeholders and specialists such as facilities management and researchers. So when that draft plan's complete, we'll put it on exhibition to the UTS community and the stakeholders for review, and then we'll incorporate that feedback back into a final plan. And that'll then go through the UTS approval process. So firstly to our Sustainability Steering Committee, then the Senior Executive, and then finally to UTS Council for approval. And after that happens, we'll go through the process of communicating and disseminating the publication internally and updating our website, etc. Next slide, please. So this is our carbon management strategy towards net zero. So our first priority is wherever possible, we aim to avoid university activities that are carbon intensive. Secondly, we want to transform our existing university activities to be more efficient. So reduce energy demand, deliver sustainable precincts and buildings, install more efficient technology and delivery systems, and undertake behaviour change programs. Thirdly, we want to substitute, so replace high carbon energy sources with low carbon energy sources, such as electrification as preference to natural gas. Next, we want to install renewable energy on campus and produce and consume that electricity on site. Off-site renewables, so we have one more project at Botany, a solar project, and after that's completed this year, we will have maximised all of our on-site solar installation potential. So then the aim is to facilitate the production and purchase of renewable energy off-site, and we're doing this through power purchase agreements. So our third one for a solar farm will supply 50% of UTS's electricity demand. So then we're looking into sequestration. We need to find a lot more out about this for residual emissions. But we're looking into undertaking activities that can capture and store carbon dioxide. And we're exploring opportunities directly on our own bushland and rural sites, and forming partnerships to undertake reforestation activities. And we're also looking at opportunities for UTS to research capture and storage of carbon dioxide. So at the moment, we've got some interesting research projects into species of seaweed that have the potential for long-term carbon sequestration, and another project to reduce the carbon footprint of beer by using algae in bioreactors to catch carbon dioxide, which is a byproduct of the brewing process, and then release oxygen. And lastly, our last resort is offsetting residual emissions that cannot be eliminated by any of the above. And we'll need to develop a policy for purchasing offsets that fits with the university values. So we've got a strong emphasis on social impact and the SDGs. We also want that policy to represent our national and international students. Next slide, please. So you can see our current targets in the top box, and the box below are our future targets as they're evolving. So we have a very good understanding of our scope 1 and 2 emissions because we have to report these to our federal government annually. And we've got quite good data on our staff business travel emissions for scope 3, but we definitely need to explore other sources and our supply chain more thoroughly under scope 3. The first two targets there for renewable electricity and fossil fuel divestment will probably achieve in the next couple of years. The first one through power purchase agreement, and the second one we've already decided to divest from the current fund we're in. We just need to work out where we're going to put those funds. So that's a process that might take until the end of the year. And then we have tentative targets for scope 1 and 2 by 2025 and scope 3 net zero by 2040. We also want to keep our emissions intensity targets because it's important to keep on with those energy efficiency projects. Next slide, please. So this is just some of UTS's recent achievements in our journey towards net zero. So in 2013, we completed an energy efficiency building retrofit project for about $9 million. We've done quite a few innovative projects that have resulted in an Australian first. So the first one was a power purchase agreement with a solar farm in rural New South Wales. And then we signed a precinct cooling agreement with Central Park, which is a large multi-use development across the road from UTS, and we received chilled water from them. Also with Central Park, we received recycled water from them to one of our new buildings for landscape irrigation and toilet flushing. We have a number of Green Star buildings that are certified, and we got the Vicky Sara building, which is a science building, was awarded the highest 6-star Green Star in 2018. We have a green revolving fund. In our state in Australia, we have energy savings certificates that are awarded for energy savings in existing buildings. These are tradable certificates that can be sold. And we've established a green revolving fund with the revenue from that to perpetuate the energy savings through new energy efficiency and behaviour change projects. Last year, well, 2019 actually, we opened an Australian first plastic-free food court. So all of the takeaway packaging is compostable. All of the drinks containers are not plastic, they're all recyclable. And lastly, we're leading the Race for 2030. So it's a cooperative research centre that's dedicated to accelerating the transition to reliable, affordable, clean energy. And one of their research projects called the Green Wave feeds into our carbon neutral plan. So they'll contribute case studies from industry partners and an evaluation matrix for potential initiatives that go beyond greenhouse gas reduction and cost factors like social impact. So that's all I had. Next slide. And thank you very much to the EAUC for organising